Hello, hello, happy Friday. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Where's our class today? Let's go ahead and get started. Happy Friday. More importantly, happy Pizza Friday. So go ahead and type in what's your favorite pizza topping in the chat. And then today's question for Share Out Loud is, how do you divide rational expressions? I've been muted this whole time. Okay. For those of you just joining us, make sure that you type in your favorite pizza topping in the chat. And then, how do you divide rational expressions will be the question I'm asking out loud today. Twenty more seconds. All right. How do you divide rational expressions? How do you divide rational expressions? What do you have for me, Ethan?
You gotta like, I don't know how to say it without sound stupid. You gotta like flip it and multiply the like second part.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. You gotta change the division to a multiplication and then flip the fraction. Good. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. All right. Today we're going to go ahead and do our good things. Our good things are going to come from, let's see, Dion, Venus, and Nancy. Dion, go ahead. What's your good thing?
No sense. We just got a new basketball coach, so our season might be starting back up.
Ooh, exciting. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Venus, what's your good thing?
I got paid today.
Ooh, exciting. And then, sorry, Nancy, what's your good thing?
I get to go to work today, and I got paid today too.
Awesome. All right. Let's go ahead and get started with our agenda for today. So a couple announcements before we start today's lesson. First announcement is graphing calculator rentals and announcement is that I will be absent on Monday, so I'll go over what that means for you in just a sec. But let's go ahead and go through graphing calculator rentals first. So here we go. On Canvas, when you enter Canvas on today, when you enter Canvas, I included some graphing calculator information on my homepage. So graphing calculator information. On August 18th and 19th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., we will be distributing graphing calculators, drive-through pickup and return days. Students who still have a graphing calculator from last year but no longer need it must return the calculator to avoid ongoing rental fees. Students who do not have a graphing calculator and need one for their math class are able to pick one up while supplies last. If a student receives a school graphing calculator, a rental fee of $20 per semester will be charged to the student's account. Students who intend to rent a graphing calculator must complete the online graphing calculator request form prior to August 18th or 19th. If you click this link right here, it'll take you to the online form. You need to submit it before you come to school. You also need to click the link up here. It's going to take you to a PDF. This form needs to be signed by your parent or guardian before you get a calculator. If you do not have a printer, we have extra copies here, but you will need to bring your parent/guardian to sign it for you. All drive-through pickups and returns will be located outside of door number 2 at North Central High School. Students and parents/guardians will stay in their cars during drive-through pickups and returns. An MSD WT staff member will meet drivers and either collect return graphing calculators or exchange a completed rental agreement for a graphing calculator. Any questions about graphing calculators?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I still have the calculator that I rented out, like I think for your class for like second semester or like first semester, I forgot. But I still have it, and if I want to re-rent it, do I keep that one or do I return it and like wait for them to give me another one?
You would keep it, but then they would automatically just charge you another $20 for the semester.
Okay. Alrighty.
Any other questions? Okay, cool. Second thing, I will be out on Monday, so I will not be here on Monday. So what does that mean for you? If you go to the modules, this is what your home page is going to look like on Monday. So when you log into Canvas on Monday, this is what you will see. It says, teachers absent today. There is no live Zoom, and then it has your assignment, which is just 7.4 part 1, and it's going to be due on Monday at 11:59 p.m. Any questions about that? So do not log into the Zoom on Monday. I am not going to be here, and you will not be able to be let in. So there's just an assignment, so take that 45 minutes that you have on Monday and do the assignment. Any questions? Cool. All right, here is your, where was I going with this? Here's your agenda for today. Any questions about last night's homework? Any questions about last night's homework? Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and get started with today's. So today we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk about adding and subtracting rational numbers. We're going to talk about adding and subtracting rational expressions. So this whole week we've talked about multiplying and dividing, which is actually a little bit simpler than adding and subtracting. And the reason why is because anytime you add and subtract rational expressions, we treat them just like fractions, which means that you need to have a common denominator when you do these problems. For today, we're only going to see examples where you have a common denominator. Starting Tuesday, we'll practice with examples where you don't have a common denominator. So your steps are to rewrite the problem using a common denominator if it doesn't already have one, Then number 2, you want to combine the numerators and keep the common denominator. And then lastly, you want to simplify the remaining expression. So let's go ahead and look at example A. We've got 7 over 4x plus 3 over 4x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check and see that I have a common denominator, which I do. I have 4x and 4x. So I keep that as my common denominator. The biggest mistake I see students do is that you think that this is like multiplication, so you'll try to add 4x plus 4x and say that your denominator is 8x. No, don't do that. Common denominator stays as your denominator for your final answer. And then all you do is combine the numerator. So you're going to do 7 plus 3, which is 10. Now you're going to check and see, can you simplify that? So is there anything that goes into 10 and into 4x? And you can simplify it by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So your final answer is 5 over 2x. 5 over 2x. Any questions on part A? Any questions on part A? All right, let's go to part B. We've got 2x over x plus 6 minus 5 over x plus 6. So check and see that you have a common denominator. So you're going to keep that common denominator as x plus 6. And then you're going to combine the numerator. So 2x minus 5. Another common mistake I see is students will be like, oh, okay, 2x minus 5 is negative 3x. But you can't do that. Don't be one of those students because these are not like terms. This is an x term, and this is just a constant. So you can't combine them. So you just have to leave it as 2x minus 5. You can't put them together. All right, and then you're going to ask yourself, okay, anytime I have binomials, I can look and see if I have a GCF to maybe simplify. So I'm going to look at 2x and negative 5. No number goes into both of those, so I can't simplify that any further. So now I'm going to look at x plus 6. No number goes into both of those either, so that's my final answer. I can't simplify it any further. Any questions on part B? All right, let's go to part C. We've got 8 over 12x minus 5 over 12x. I'm going to go ahead and start calling on people for these questions. I've talked for too long today. What's my denominator going to be? What's my denominator going to be? What do you think, Nancy?
12x. Well, we talk about, yeah, 12x.
12x, yeah. All right, and then we're going to do the numerator. So 8 minus 5. What's my numerator going to be, Sandra?
3.
3, good job. All right, now we got to check and see, can we simplify it further? What do you think, Hugh?
Yeah, you can.
What can we simplify it by?
3.
3. So what would your final answer be, Q?
1 over 4x.
1 over 4x. Good job. Any questions on part C? All right, let's look at part D. We've got 2x squared over x squared plus 1 plus 2 over x squared plus 1. First question, what's my denominator going to be? What's my denominator going to be? What do you think, Liana?
X squared plus 1.
Good. And then what's my numerator going to be? What's my numerator going to be? What do you think, Venus?
Will it be 2x squared plus 2?
Yeah, you can't combine those together because one's an x squared term and one's just a constant. Good job. All right, now we're gonna see if we can simplify. So you're gonna look at just the numerator because it's a binomial, there's two terms, and see, is there a GCF for 2x squared and 2? Is there a GCF for 2x squared and 2? What do you think, Hannah?
Yes, so GCF is 2.
2 in the parentheses.
Yeah. And then x squared plus 1.
Good. And then you've got x squared plus 1 in the denominator.
Mm-hmm.
You can't simplify x squared plus 1 any further, so that's it. All right, can I cancel anything out? What do you think, Dion?
X squared plus 1.
Good, so you can cancel out x squared plus 1, which means all you're left with is 2. Remember, anytime you cancel anything out, you just want to make sure that you take care of the restriction. So whatever you canceled out, in this case it's x squared plus 1, set it equal to 0 and solve. So we're going to subtract 1 from both sides, so we'll get x squared is equal to -1. And then take the square root of both sides, so x, we have a problem. You cannot take the square root of a negative number, so there's actually no solution, which means that there's no number that I can plug in for x that would make this expression equal to 0, so there's no restriction. It's just 2. Any questions on that?
Why did you do the x squared plus 1 thing?
Because remember, anytime you cancel something from the denominator, you have to check and see if there's a restriction. So if there's a number that you can't plug in for x. So that's why I set it equal to 0. But it actually ended up not mattering because when I tried to solve for x, I had the square root of a negative number, which you cannot have. You cannot take the square root of a negative number. Does that make sense, Liana?
Yeah.
There's no restriction for that. All right, part E, we've got 4 over x minus 2 minus x over x minus 2. First question, what's my denominator going to be? Ethan?
The denominator is going to be x minus 2.
Yep. And what's my numerator going to be? Sandra?
4x minus x.
Which is?
4x.
So you'll notice that 4x minus x, those are like terms because they both have an x in them. So if I had 4 x's and I take away an x, how many x's do I have left? 3. So it's going to be 3x over x minus 2. Can I simplify that any further? What do you think?
What did you say? What did you say again?
Can I simplify this any further?
No.
No, so that's the final.
Well, actually, yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I just messed myself up. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yep, you were right the first time. Can't simplify it any further. All right, part F, 2 over 3x squared plus 1 over 3x squared. What's my denominator going to be? Liana?
3x squared.
Good. What's my numerator going to be? Enos?
3.
Can I simplify this any further? What do you think, Hannah?
I guess you could simplify it with a 3. And then your thing will be x squared. It should be.
Yeah, so 3 divided by 3 is 1, so don't forget to have a 1 in the numerator. And then 3 divided by 3 is also 1. But you don't need to have a 1 in front of the x squared. You can just keep 1 over x squared. Good job, y'all. And that is it for our notes today. Can you believe it? It's a Friday miracle. Woohoo! Exciting. No one else is as excited as I am. That's fine. You got it.
Excited.
You're excited,
I'm
Kiri.
ready to go home.
Appreciate it. All right. I'm going to put this up for another minute in case anyone's trying to copy it down. All right. Okay, before we leave, here is your homework for tonight. You have 2 big ideas assignments. One is due tonight, so that's 7.3 part 3. And then 7.4 part 1 is due Monday. Remember that I will not be here on Monday, which means I also won't have my office hours on Monday. Those are going to shift to Tuesday after school if you need help. Don't log into the Zoom, just do the 7.4 assignment because that will be due Monday. Any questions about homework? All right. If you are good to go, feel free to log out. Have a great Friday. If you want to stay and do your assignment, I'll be here till 2:40 to answer questions, so you can hang around and do your assignment if that's your jam as well.